It's the guy, the best guy ever made. I liked it already. I didn't even watch it yet. I've already pre-liked it because I'm like, yeah, I already covered his mushroom cup designing video. And if you haven't seen that, it'll be linked in the description after. It's not a choice. Go watch it after this one. But he decided to continue the series. So without further ado, Mr. McKay, take it away.
What has happened since my last video? Notably Mario Kart World being revealed in the trailer.
Hey, you've been gone for a while, brother!
And then probably getting launched by the time I get done with this. And I would talk about my thoughts on it, but that's not what you're here for. But basically, in short, I think it looks awesome. I love the roster so much. I'm probably most excited.
You know, I'm so happy. I'm so happy he's a roster ender. Yes. Come on. Yeah, I've been seeing too many. Oh, the roster. Oh, the people online have been pissing me off, chat. I've been people online. I have. I've been people online. I
haven't thought about what to rename the series yet, but I'm not planning on redoing everything to make it work for World, like interconnecting all the tracks. So just think of it like Mario Kart 8.5 Anyway,
okay.
Today we were talking about the Flower Cup. I've been working on these tracks for months, and I'm excited to finally show them off.
DK Constructs. Oh, it's like, is it like similar to Spaceport? That'd be kind of funny if it ended up like being like something like, you know, 25M inspired, like in the same way that World kind of did that too.
Before Mario Kart World footage came out, I got so scared that people were going to think I stole this idea from the game. Basically, I started out wanting to recreate the 25M stage.
Oh, crazy, huh? Listen, game recognizes game, broski. Game recognizes game.
Then I realized it'd probably be pretty boring, because it's just like 5 straight lines, but I still stuck with the theming. But then Mario Kart World did this exact idea, and when I first saw it, I was like, oh no, it's a construction site based on Donkey Kong. But then more stuff came out. It's a spaceport, don't worry. It's one of the few things I did see, and I like the way they executed that idea.
It's
really
sick.
Interesting for just like a couple straight lines. Anyway, they redrew this track about 10 times because I just couldn't find a layout that incorporated everything I wanted to.
I want to move on the other side.
Tricking up the beams, a section of barrel to avoid. A part where you climb up a building that's currently being constructed. Just a lot, but I finally settled on one at the end. There was also a part where I thought about making this a tour style track, but I didn't want too many of those types of tracks, and I already have one in this cup. So this is the design I settled on. You start out by driving along this framework of a building. This straightaway here has a lot of barrels. They're going to be thrown by 8-bit DK. And you can take a ride to these 2 shipping containers. Trick out one of those cement roller things, I don't know what they're called, and make a right turn through this field of barrels. The oil barrels basically act like bomb cars if they didn't move. They explode if you touch them or if something else hits them. And that's a lap. I did get feedback from people in my server that the starting line should be moved back, since there's not really room for the racers to be placed at the beginning right here. But I didn't feel like redrawing everything because it was on one layer by the time I was told this.
One layer? Oh, bad artistry. Bad artistry.
You know, just pretend. Just pretend it's further back.
So that's pretty sick, eh? You drive up here, and obviously DK's going to be throwing barrels here. Couple of swinging girders into this area where the oils are basically giant bombs, so if you drive into them, they explode. And then do a big UE for like an... That's pretty sick, eh? Well, for a Flower Cup starter? Shit, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But yeah, it's a different interpretation of this. Luigi's casino. We're going gambling. Didn't I say this? Like, someone said, I think someone in my call-in stream said, what kind of concept would you like? And then I said, casino. Casino stage. Oh my god. McKay, my god.
Oh, dang it. Oh, dang it.
My god.
Oh my god.
Basically, everyone has thought of a casino track. It's a fun idea.
No, it's just me. No, it's just me. I was the only one who ever did this.
Own take into the ring. The hardest choice is
there like a roulette section? There has to be a roulette section. Or like a Luigi on the table. Oh, how about there's like a hang on. Do you know what I'd kind of do? I'd have like a big table area, like something like this, but then like depending on whether Luigi like wins or loses his card game, it gets easier or harder. I can't decide. Like I'm guessing if Luigi wins, it's like, I took your money, and then like the puzzle, like the area isn't as tough. But like if he wins, hey, then that means the coins end up spilling everywhere, you know what I mean? And ends up being a hazard. Something like that. That'd be kind of cool. I'd love something like that.
Waluigi, or secret third character, because it just makes sense for Waluigi to own a casino. But I ended up choosing Luigi since he was robbed of ending tracks in Mario Kart 8. And also so there's a reference to his mini games in the DS games.
Hell yeah.
I think he had a few different casino games. There's also a track idea that I've had for like years. It's neat to finally get it out there. You start outside of the casino in the city and drive in. There's a lot of split paths here, including ones on top of the machines that you need a feather to access. You take this curvy anti-gravity road that's now in this sort of gambling dimension, kind of like how the Mario Kart arcade crossover tracks do sometimes. I don't know casino lore, but the game with the ball rolling around, that one.
Oh, roulette.
You get a shortcut through to
The game with the ball. You mean roulette? It's okay. You're not really a gambler man like I am. Fair enough.
those boards.
I mean, neither am I, to be honest, but fair.
Tables or whatever, with the risk of getting hit by a large spinning ball. You can throw into a billiard table with more large balls to dodge. They move slower here.
It's a billiard table, okay.
Or a drill shroom to take this glider ramp here and fly over the table. You exit into the city with a little ramp right here and complete a lap. There's also a feather shortcut you can access by flying onto the buildings here, then driving through this one.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty sick. I would say that the more I would say wacky element of the level being like a billiards table instead of something like casino related is a bit of a disappointment, I would say. Like, for example, I'd do like a giant roulette table. It'd probably be a reference to, Sunshine, the King Boo fight. Could probably be something like that. Maybe you could do something like that. Like, for example, the middle is like kind of taken over by King Boo. And then the first person to go in spins the table or pulls the lever. And then, like, depending on what happens, various different things happen. That'd be kind of cool, right? I would say the wackier area being like a billiard table when that's not necessarily gambling is a bit of a miss for me personally. But I think it's good though. The concept is amazing. I see the vision. Yeah, but I'd replace it with I think that's the only thing I'd do. I'd just replace this section with something else. And I like this cards dimension he's got going on here. Because he said that, like Mario Kart Arcade GP, like, you go for a portal and you end up, like, somewhere else. So I'm guessing you go through, like, a portal here and, like, end up in, like, the cards dimension. And you come back out here into the regular street. But yeah, I would say the billiard hazard sounds like fun, but, I want something a bit more gambling related, Mr. McCurdy, okay? I want some more gambling stuff. I'm a bit more of a gambler, okay? Conkdor?
Hardcore fans of the channel will recognize this track. Kongdor Ruins was the second track concept I ever made. I'm a
hardcore fan and I don't recognize it. What does that make me? Am I a wacky? Do I suck? What the hell, McKay? I thought we were best friends.
I like the track and the art, but I think, from a game design point, it could have been better. And this was another track that I thought was going to be stolen from Mario Kart World. They put Kongdors in some of the desert tracks. So I'm not saying Nintendo's using my ideas, but they kind of are. That's 2 for 2 now. I went ahead and made this one the tour style track of this cup. The first lap is pretty similar to the original Kongdor Ruins. You start at the temple and drive along.
When he says original Kongdor Ruins, what's he talking about? Is it like a stage in like another thing? Because he showed an image here. Like, where's it from? Where's it from, gamers? Help me out.
Doors would activate whenever our regular drives any road. The first lap is pretty similar to the original Kongdor Ruins. You start at the temple and drive along
I made this concept a while back. Oh, okay, so this is related to him, okay.
Any road with lots of Kongdors to dodge. There's a split path here, and then you glide over this canyon. You take this long path of Kongdors over boost panels. The Kongdors would activate whenever our racer drives under them. So I thought I'd make this a fun dynamic where you try to get them to slam down on the racers behind you, with a more risky factor being at play here at the end. Whenever you re-enter the temple, these statues will slide, opening up a new path each lap. The second lap takes you down the middle and down to the actual ruins with a steep anti-gravity road. In this section I used the main idea that inspired Kongdor Ruins, but I forgot to put in, which is the sliding slabs in Kongdor Canyon. There's a smaller one here, where you save a bit of time by staying up top, then a longer one here. There's a large pit of semi-sloping sand below you, and 2 anti-gravity roads on the side. Then you take this anti-gravity roundabout and launch back up into the temple for the third lap. The rightmost path here takes you onto the other side of the temple into the sandstorm.
So it's pretty neat so far. It's like you go outside the ruins and then you go inside proper. That's pretty neat. I like it.
Gameplay-wise, it's not that different. Your vision is just a little limited. You drive under this bridge and over the canyon, then take a huge glide here. You can also fly to the right to grab onto this sideways road. You then take a U-turn past more Kongdors, then you glide onto this bridge that you drove under earlier. You go back into the temple. I just learned my headset dies if sound is not constantly being put into it.
Nice.
Even when I'm talking into it, if it doesn't hear anything. You go back into the temple and then take a right to finish. I'm going to show off the original drawings I did years ago because theme-wise, this is what I want to go
Are the mummy-themed Kongdors here? That's kind of sick.
I don't feel like redrawing everything here, but in a different location. Just, it can be slightly altered to fit the layout that I went for. Also, yes, the second lap was made with marker on paper. I'm thinking about trying out different mediums of art for future tracks, because I FW with mixed media so much.
Yeah, do you?
Anyways, here's
how about you do some rotoscoping next time, huh? How about you do some rotoscoping? How about you do some how about you draw it on a piece of cardboard and show us where we're going IRL? How about that? How about that, McKay, huh? Just a mixed media. That's a pretty cool track, honestly. Going through some ruins. It was always my favorite part about Dry ruins. You know, you actually go into some ruins proper. It's one of those aspects of desert tracks that barely get used. You know what I mean? There's ruins and archaeology and traps and craziness. They will kind of do for a track to for that sort of thing. Yeah, where's the stop motion? Come on now. Rock and Roll Road.
The last cut for this track is Rock and Roll Road.
This is Guitar Hero.
It's sort of like a sequel to Music Park. You take this big U-turn in front of a crowd, then drive towards the stage where you can see Dry Bowser performing with his awesome band.
Dry Bowser?
Take a left onto this giant guitar and zoom up the fretboard with alternating boost pad all over the place. I hate to say this, but this idea is heavily inspired by Fortnite. They have a racing mode, and it's actually pretty similar.
He fucking loves Fortnite! Look at him! Fortnite!
Mechanic-wise to Mario Kart World, now that I think about it. But there was a track called Thrash Mountain, which was also a collab with Metallica. Awesome. At the top, you make a U-turn onto this anti-gravity bendy road. You take a few tricks down here, and then you go up this roundabout drum tower. Then bounce off the 2 drums here and assemble. There's a shortcut here at the end where you can use a mushroom through this drum.
Just like the Music Park one.
There's also a feather cut back here where you can skip one of the loops on this tower.
I think what could be nice is that I think what could be nice as well is that obviously you're driving up a guitar thing here. Maybe every lap it kind of changes over. Where you're supposed to drive on or where you're not supposed to drive on. As if it's Bowser, Dry Bowser's holding different frets or different thingamajigs on the guitar. I don't know what they're called. I'm pretending to be a music guy. I'm a fraud.
The reverse variants are pretty simple. The biggest difference in DK constructs is you would
also he's doing reverse versions
to the cement pile. Otherwise, it's just flipping around all these ramps. The same case also applies to Luigi's Casino. For Contour Ruins, the statues would move around a lot more. They would direct you into the end of lap 3, where the gliders would just be flipped. Then when you return, the ground would open up and take you down to the ruins. Then when you come back up, you just drive straight through the temple to complete.
I think most of the guitar map seems to... No, I'm going to listen to it fine, then we'll give him some critique after. Hold that thought, Striker, hold that thought.
Rock and Roll Road would have to add a canyon to take you over the drums here, then an extra ramp at the base of the guitar.
Trick variants. Oh my god, trick variants. I fucking love trick variants, Charlie.
Something a lot of people said about my last batch of trick variants was to get rid of the ugly red gate roads. They were used a lot in Tour since it was easy to just move them around and stuff. But I do see that in most cases the mainline game would put more effort into these tracks and probably wouldn't just use.
They were a bit weird in all fairness.
And just slap them onto every single track. For DK constructs, there's 2 boost panels after the ramps, then you glide up the barrel section. The 2 tubes here are replaced by one big one that's anti-gravity, so you can drive in a loop if you'd like. There's a platform added here, and you're directed away from the cannon onto the cement road. The barrel field is replaced by several growing piles of gravel. On the last lap, the third hill is so big that you can drive over the fence for a shortcut. Luigi's Casino starts with a fountain blocking the main road, so you take these gliding ramps through the windows on the side. There's also a few extra roads in this area. When you get to the wacky area, there's these card ramps here that will take you on another route. You glide down here, but you can't get the entire billiards table this time. There's a higher road added here that you can take along the top of these buildings, and use this shortcut that's only accessible by feather in the original course. And there's also a few boost pads in the slower road, so it's not completely useless anymore. For Contour Ruins, the second lap is now the first. You start by taking a large jump into the temple, then you can boost over this gap. There's a ramp here, and then a large spinning bullet bill cannon in the middle of this large road. You have a row of flumps to avoid here, then the road back up has alternating ramps and boost pads you can take. The road is longer and will launch you onto the roof of the temple.
It's a shame that we didn't get reverse and trick variants in Mario Kart World. I mean, they could always add them, but bit of a shame, eh? I mean, I know the intermissions are kind of somewhat, but I don't know, bit of a shame. Bit of a shame, Mario Kart.
Then drive onto
Mario
the first
Kart L.
area. You take this little bridge towards the pyramid, and there's a small anti-gravity section. You then get boosted onto these mushroom trampolines and drive along this bumpy field towards the sandstorm area. You no longer glide here, and there's some rocky, segmented roads you can drive on. A ramp is placed here. Then once you get to this bridge, you drive off it into the temple. You then take the large U-turn and finish the race.
I forgot to talk about rock and roll. I'm taking a trip out of the country soon and don't have time to add that. Oops. What the hell? Where you going? You could have just waited until you got. No! If you made it. Hang on. Come on. If you made us wait. I say made us wait. Well, if you were willing to take 6 months between uploads, what's an extra month, man? Do you know what I mean? Like, I can understand if you're like on the grind, but like, you may like we could wait 1 more month. Do you know what I mean? Like, God damn, broski. Oh, man. Unfortunate.
And that's the flower cup complete. I think it's a pretty solid lineup I've cooked up, and I hope.
I would say, as I said, I think this one. I don't think I have any notes for this one. I think this one just really works. I think you're constantly doing interesting things. And I think this one's great. This one, I would say, not enough gambling references.
I'm out of college for a while, so hopefully the next video won't be a.
This one's just great. I love the concept of like a desert track that's in actual ruins and it explores ruins. Like obviously, Dry Ruins did that, but I want like to explore like a bit more.
Month wait.
I think, this one is probably the one where I'm like, thematically it looks cool to end on, but I would say there's not really too much going on in terms of like the hazards, which is a bit of a disappointment. If anything, I would say maybe reverse this and DK, the DK one, because the DK one feels like it's got enough stuff going on where it could be a cup ender. This one definitely is more of a looker than it is like a hazarder, if that makes sense. Something else going on would be kind of neat. On this one, like a little, give it like a little bit of some je ne sais quoi, like a little bit much. The latter half is visually empty. Yeah. There's like, you have it's a sick idea. I love it, like a sequel to Electrodrome. But yeah, this one definitely feels like it could have used like an extra bit. Did you count doesn't have source in the layout? No, I actually love the layout. I think it works fantastically if you ask me. Where is it?
I think it's pretty solid.
I really like it. It feels like 25M kind of being being constructed. I quite like this. I think this is great. But I think if theming like acceleration wise, I feel like you could just swap this one and the other one, and I think it's perfect. This one and rock and roll one, and it works really well. Yeah, I'd say the only one that's like a bit more of a miss. I won't say it's still a hit, but the bigger miss of the two. The four, should I say? It's probably this one. It's just like there's more that could have been just a bit more, especially if it's a cup ender. Because remember, this one's a cup ender, so you want probably as much going on in this one than you had in like the DK construction site thing, DK construct. And this part is definitely cool. This bit here with the thingamajig, and you go around like this. That's a cool bit. But like something going on maybe like here to maybe a little extra, a little bit extra here. I don't know. Could have been neat.
Discord server if you'd like to. There's a little group.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Discord server and yell at you. What? Hey, why couldn't you do the final? I want to see the trick variant for Dry Bowels' rock and roll burnout.
Here who yap about Mario Kart, but be warned, it's extremely vicious sometimes. But there's some cool people.
Listen, you're talking to me, man. My Discord is yeah.
There, and you can be one of them.
Yeah.
Shout out to those who make fan art of my tracks. They make me so happy to look at, and I think it's insane that some people add them to the game through mods. The Vanilla Lake 2 remake from my last video, that was just like 3D models, got made into a real track. It's in those giant custom track compilations, and that's like insane to me. So yeah, shout out to just another user for being the first to putting one of my tracks in like a real game. That's insane. And then also shout out
to a bunch of free laborers. Yeah,
my guy has made like a couple of my tracks inside of Minecraft, and they all look so
Minecraft?
Cool. You can be inside Koopa Troopa Swamp here. It looks so fun to just walk around in. I'm not known for expressing excitement that well, but this is like, I don't know. I think about it a lot. It's just like,
listen, fan art is the best part, okay? Trust me, it's the best part.
To find my tracks that cool. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. Thanks for watching.
That feeling when people like your stuff, am I right? That feeling when people like your stuff? Where is it? Yeah, that feeling when people like your stuff, like, oh my god.
To find my tracks that cool. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. Thanks for watching as always.
Listen, the pleasure's all mine.
Great day.
The pleasure's all mine. Gamers?
I hope we all have fun
Gamers?
Playing Minecraft World.
Gamers? Excuse me. I'm not seeing enough movement, gamers. I'm not seeing enough movement. I'm not seeing enough. The stream doesn't continue until he hits 925. That's what I'm saying. Hey, listen, I'm just saying, I'm holding you all hostage. You guys are all cooked. Okay, you guys are all cooked. He actually makes good content, unlike somebody. The stream doesn't end. The stream doesn't continue until he hits 925. Until then, I'm going to reposition my camera and adjust my chair because it's squeaking a bit. It's really fucking annoying, actually. You can't. No, it's all your fault. You can't advance the stream. It's all your fault, okay? We're going to put more desert music on, all right? That's what we're going to do. We're going to put more desert music on until we hit at least 925, all right? This chair sucks. Guys, support is low. I need a new chair as well and AC. Come on. And new headphones, gamers. Everything about this fucking chair sucks. Where is that now? 937. God. All right, guys. 950. We could do. No, listen. 950. 950. We could do 950. Gamers, we could. His ass is not game design. Guys, come on. Guys, I'm not seeing enough movement. Guys, I'm not seeing enough movement. Guys, I'm not seeing enough movement. We've got to get him to 950. We've got to get. There's nothing we can do. We've got to get him to 950. All right. Surely McCarthy gets 950. All right. Sure. 950. Guys, we're nearly there. Joe, we're nearly. Come on, guys. Support on McCurdy is low. Okay, it's low. Nothing I could do. It's no use. But listen, in all fairness, jokes aside, easily one of my favorite new content creators I've seen. And now that you're out of college, you've got no excuses, okay? More videos. I want more videos in my feed. Now! Not after breakfast. Not after the next episode of fucking Breaking Bad. Now! Okay? That's what I wanted. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the comments, shall we? Let's have a look at the comments. 952. Oh, we came in so... You know, I'm so proud of our community. They be saying, the people online be saying we're toxic gamers, but we did it. Okay, 955, 955. Guys, 955, 955. Surely we can get 955. Guys, 955. Guys, one more. Just one more, I promise. One more and we'll move on. One more and we'll move on, okay? One more. Okay, one more. Okay, now we're good. I'll stop. That's it. It's over. Okay. We got to do that. Okay, chill. Okay, we'll move on. Let's read some of the comments and we'll move on. Oh, man. That's it. Moving on. That's it. We got a nice number there. Drive hours on electric guitars peak. Such a good idea. True. So glad for another episode of this. I'll vote. I'm not voting everything. Dude, you should have called it rock and roll. Oh, missed opportunity, McKay. Now for the normal response. Thank you so much for shouting me out. Great. He shouts people out too. Yeah, so glad to see. So am I. Fucking love this series, man. Where's my desert? More desert music, gamers. More desert music. Give me more desert music. I'm fucking baking in my room. I'll have you know. We're back. Absolute cinema. My go is back. Shocked. Love the Luigi Casino. Looking peak. Same here, honestly. My go is never washed, baby. Fire emoji. Can we get fire emoji, please? There we are. Amazing. Alright, guys. Can we hit... Where are we? Okay, we're still at 950. Okay, you know, I said 950. Okay, I said 950. Okay, we're good. Either way, yeah, like I said, very good stuff. Very much a big fan of his stuff. And, great. Keep up, okay? I'm excited to see what the Star Cup holds, and we'll leave it there, gamers. And we'll leave it there.